Welcome, everyone, to Daily DVR. And today we have a very special show. We're doing the film list, and Solo's taking over. Hit it, baby.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Film List. First time ever live on YouTube. Now, it's going to be confusing because this probably won't get released audio-wise for months, but you get it exclusively here if you're a YouTube subscriber. If you're not and you're listening to this months later and you're like, what the heck? I didn't know you guys went live on the YouTubes. You can subscribe on YouTube, DVR Podcast Family or whatever. What is it, Axel?
Subscribe on YouTube, DVR Podcast Network.
Network. Yeah, not family.
DVR
Anyway,
Podcast Network.
I'm
We
your
are a
host.
family, though.
Yeah,
We are.
everybody and me. Um, I can't think of lyrics. Yeah, so what I'm doing on the film list is I'm counting down my 1,000 favorite films of all time. Not the best, my favorite 1,000, because once upon a time ago, I was in a hot check kitchen and Ando and Axel did a section of my film list and they were critiquing why they were there and why, and it's like the
He'll
favorites,
never
not the
forget this,
best.
Ando. He'll never
No,
forget it.
I
We
know.
actually said that on that show, too. I think we complained for like a second. And then
Was
Ando
it?
was like, actually, this is Heath's movies.
Yeah, but I don't think you acknowledged that. And I was in
Well, we do
check. So
now, and we
the
love you too. We
the
acknowledge we love you.
I hear this screed every single time we record, Axel. So I'm
I
used.
know, I
yeah, I
know.
know, I
It
know.
just goes in one ear and out the other at this point.
Anyway, but you guys did a great job on that pod. If you haven't listened to that, go back. Go back to Daily DVR. Actually, that might have been just a Patreon. I don't know, but go to dvrpodcast.com for everything we do and cover. We'll be covering the finale of White Lotasi, aka White Lotus. We just finished Severance, aka Severance, and we're going to be doing Duster this May and maybe Last of Us. Who knows? Let us know. DVRpodcast at gmail.com, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I got it right. It's weird because I'm used to audio and I'm just doing now it's the filmless video. I mean, it's been 15 years. I started the filmless podcast. They're all gone. Somebody has them on a hard drive, but they're all gone. But we're recounting down. I want to welcome in my producer and my best buddy next to Axel, Ando. How you doing, buddy?
Good. I've been preserving all my bodily fluids in preparation for this episode, and I can't wait to hear what our guest has to say.
Axel is here on the film list. You
I'm
showed up in
super excited.
Portland for like a cameo, or you came on a pod and said, I didn't see that movie. That movie stinks. And then you left, but you're here for the 5 films we're going to talk about today.
Well, because these are five great movies that you have chosen here, Solo, that I remember, have rewatched, and enjoy completely, and I'm more than willing to talk about. It's only positive vibes on the film list today.
Well, but if not, it's okay. Like Ando goes, we've a lot of times Solo, I hated this movie. And then I rewatched it. It wasn't that bad. He's being very nice to me. But no,
So
but
it
it's
gets
great.
positive. That's
It's
good.
okay. It's okay because I tend to have some movies in there that are not they don't do well at the box office in there, but they're special to me.
Yeah.
So let's begin this fun list. We're talking 5 films. We're coming in at 850. So 851, we left off with Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Now we're hitting 850. And if you're a first-time YouTuber and you're like, hey, I kind of like this little film list talking about movies and stuff, go to our audio podcast, Daily DVR, and you can get the old film list. And I think we're going to do a film list feed one of these days too, where they're all going to be on the film list someday.
We
Um,
are. I am definitely, actually, that is number one on my agenda to sitting down at the computer and doing podcast stuff. Is I had told Solo, as you have done this new film list, I already created the category, so I always check off the film list, but I never created a separate feed and then put it out to iTunes and Spotify and everything.
right.
one thing I do need is some new artwork.
I was actually going to say I secretly have been working on some artwork.
Okay,
It's just
so as
still in the preparation phase.
as soon as I get that artwork, I can create the feed
Okay,
because
perfect.
It's
they
all
don't
on you,
take it
Ando.
without the artwork. That's how it's actually through, I'll tell you, through Blueberry, which is a great company that Todd Cochran, who does Geek News Central, one of the first podcasts I ever listened to. I use category podcasting through Blueberry, and it's super easy on our website for me to just create a new category, then create a whole new show. And also I can put it on multiple shows at any single episode can go on multiple different feeds at once as well. So as soon as I do that, that film list will be populated by all the other ones. And if I missed one, I just check a box. And then you have your own, we'll have our own feed and get sponsored. Maybe the Ringer will bring us in and say this is a better idea than the rewatchables Solos
Wow.
film lists.
I love
Well,
it.
the problem why these, I guess these, no one's been listening to the film is I was going through moldy strawberry, not blueberry. So,
Oh,
so,
shit.
oh,
That's the
that was a
problem.
rough, that was a
Wah,
reach.
wah,
That was a
wah. Look at
reach.
Ando.
And
Ando is a living sound effect right now.
I did it for your aunts and uncles. Okay, let's get this puppy started. What do you
Not for
say,
the nookie.
fellas?
I'm ready.
All right. And as we know, Axel, I do a little shtick. Ando comes in
Yep, yep.
with his stuff, and then
I
we'll.
listen to every episode,
Oh,
bro.
that's
Before
right.
anyone else gets a chance, I listen to it.
Well, yeah,
I've
I
listened
just
to the ones that haven't been released yet. I've already listened to them.
what?
As soon as I get the link, I
No,
listen
I
to it,
know. I'm
dude.
kidding. I'm just acting
Because I'm always doing the
badly.
dishes.
Oh, okay. Uber Eats sending me deals. All right. Coming in at number 850. You ready? A
Yeah.
fading celebrity takes a black market drug, a cell replicating substance that temporarily creates a younger, better version of herself. So, a new film entering the film list came out this year. The film, The Substance.
Substance premiered at the Cannes Film Festival on May 19th, 2024, released in September 20th of 2024, made 17.5 million on a $17.5 million budget. This is the newest film to make the film list and the first from 2024 to make the film list.
Ah,
Written and directed by Coralie Farja, stars Demi Moore as Elizabeth, Margaret Qualley as Sue, Dennis Quaid as Harvey, and Gore Abrams as Oliver. Solo, The
Abrahams.
Substance. Yeah, Abrams or Abrahams, yeah, JJ, I don't know. I don't know. Solo.
So, yes. So, I'm a huge Demi Moore fan, one of my favorite actresses of all time. And I think the last movie I might have saw her in was Half Light with Desmond from Lost. It was a indie film. I can't
Henry
remember.
Ian Cusick. Is
There
that
you
Yes,
his
go.
name?
Henry Ian
There
Cusick.
you
I
go.
can remember. The gummies are kicking in. Batman. And so I was excited for this movie because I heard Oscar buzz for Demi. I was excited about what's going on with the younger version and all that. So I was ready.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to see it in the theater. Of course, it went and came, and then it was only on like Mubi or something. So I bought the Blu-ray, but it took a month to get to me. So late January, I finally watched it. My wife didn't like the second half. I freaking love this movie. I thought it was inventive. I thought Demi Moore was outstanding. I was rooting for her for the Oscar, nostalgic. I was hoping she would win, but this really, it wasn't what I expected, but it was very interesting. And even if you have close-ups of Dennis Quaid eating shrimp and sweating, felt like John Candy and JFK, sweaty in New
Yes.
Orleans. But I really dug this movie. I want you guys to talk about it. So, A, did you watch it? B, did you like it? We'll go to Axel first since he's our guest, Ando. Uh,
I had to cough first. I love this
no,
film. I'm a huge fan of body horror. I'm also, as you know, Solo, a huge fan of subtext and films that are one thing and appear to be another. I thought that this was took the concept of vanity, greed, self-obsession, self-absorption, um, plastic Hollywood, plastic people to the farthest known reaches of the galaxy and kept going as it splattered all over you as you watched it. I loved it, dude. I don't have anything bad to say about it. Literally, I have one bad thing to say about this movie. Okay? This is a weird thing to say because it actually has to do with the concept of the film.
Okay.
Um, I did not like that Margaret Qualley wore fake breasts in the film. I found it to be distracting,
Oh, I
and
did
I
not know that.
also felt it made me, when you think about the idea that the film is about, she didn't need to have the same boobs that Demi Moore had. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it was supposed to be a younger her, but I would have rather that it just have been her. I felt it just looked weird to me. It threw me off a
Hmm.
little bit.
Yeah, I didn't
Maybe it's just
realize that
because,
was I didn't
I
realize
didn't
that was the
even.
thing
It
either.
shows you where our
well,
heads are at
I've seen her
watching this
boobs
movie.
before. Because Margaret Qualley gets naked a lot. And she did a really interesting music video with Shia LaBeouf where they are both fully naked and just rolling around, kind of wrestling and fighting each other and dancing
Kung
with
fu
each
fighting.
other.
Hmm.
Um, in a sense, Solo, you could call it kung fu fighting. Anyway, because Axel watched that fast as lightning. Of course, her mother is the beautiful Andy McDowell. That's her mom, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's her mom.
Hmm.
So that's it. That is, and it's such a small thing. And look, it's a choice. She did an interview about it. They asked her about it. She said, I don't, my boobs are smaller than hers. What am I going to do? So they wanted to make it like it was the same person. But I don't know, for some reason, it was just small. I got past it very quickly, but that was literally the only
Oh, we're
complaint I had
talking
about. Oh,
about
and the
boobs for like
voice.
20 minutes on the.
What's that?
Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I'm like, we're talking about fake boobs for 20 minutes on the film
Well,
list. I
you
like
ask,
it.
this is what when I watch a film, these are the things I think about. You asked me on the show.
I
I
did,
also,
and I enjoy it.
the voice through the phone was weird. It didn't sound like it was coming through a phone. They didn't even add the right echo or texture to it or gravelly like voice kind of. It was the voice coming through the phone that like told her what
Hmm.
to do.
That was
That
one of my
bothered
favorite
me.
parts was the voice. It,
But what did you think of the way it was kind of like,
I thought it gave it more of a, I mean, this is kind of a sci-fi Black Mirror concept. Gave it more of that. I mean, a lot of times to me it felt a little like a David Lynch type of thing. That's the kind of thing Lynch would have in some hit where it doesn't fit with reality, but it still is the reality of the film. I loved the
but I
voice.
mean specifically the audio editing of like
Yeah,
there
I
was
know. Yeah, I understand what you mean. I thought it worked perfectly for the film,
because
but
it sounded like it was coming through her head almost like
yeah,
you couldn't. Okay,
like it could
okay,
have even been yeah, it could have been herself talking to herself even because she's probably
all
going
right,
insane.
okay, Ando, you know what, now that you said that, see, that's the first thing I said. That makes me happy because that's the first interpretation that I accepted of that voice when I kind of thought about it, like if I was the director. So I kind of like that. That's cool. But overall, I mean, I got more, but Solo, what else? Ando, what did you think of the
Ando,
substance?
I liked it. I didn't love
sushi
it. I also didn't see it
this
oh
morning.
boy. Well, no. Well, I didn't think we were going to record today, so
Yeah,
On the
I
I know.
watched
second
it.
That's
screen over here while I'm
Yeah.
recording now.
I have a different movie playing on my screen right now,
Oh,
but
oh,
not
look,
that.
it's a Margaret Qualley's boobs.
Yeah. Yeah, let's broadcast that on YouTube. Um, no, I watched it. It was right after the Oscars, like the week after the Oscars, maybe I watched it. And so I don't know if it had been too hyped for me or what, because to me it felt a lot like a really good episode of Black Mirror is what it felt like to me, which is not
uh,
necessarily a complaint. Um, the best thing about the movie for me is for the first time ever, I signed up for a free trial of something, Tubi, or not Tubi, Mubi, and
movie.
actually canceled it before they charged my credit card. So that was a big step in the right direction for me. But no, I did like the movie a lot. I didn't love the movie, but I liked it a lot. It's a solid movie. It's, I thought it got a little, I can see why people don't like the second half, but I don't know. it didn't quite hit on all cylinders. For me, I like I say I completely understand why other people love it, but I didn't love. I liked it more than I loved it. I guess that maybe is the best thing I can say about it.
Were
If that
you
makes
were
sense.
you guys going into this movie, if not knowing, did you did you know what the concept was? Because I went in thinking she's going to become a younger version of her, and somehow she was going to be her. I didn't realize it was really
I
going to be two separate people.
That's the other thing. I knew way too much going in. I had been inadvertently spoiled way back last fall where
I don't know. He's just
I'm
laughing.
sorry. I just think it's so funny how someone was like, what did you think the plot was? And I launched into a 20-minute boob talk.
hey, priorities.
Priorities.
I
Um,
was like inadvertently spoiled last fall, so I had seen a
yeah.
bunch of the clips from the end, like what happens and
Oh,
some of that,
wow.
and I'm like,
Okay.
and I don't even remember how I was spoiled because normally I'm very good about avoiding those spoilers. So
Yeah.
I basically knew what the concept was, and I kind of deducted just by some of the marketing what it was going to be about and what I had seen. So that I probably would feel differently if I had no idea going in. I think that would have helped the experience for me a little bit. But
Yeah, see, I thought they were going to age Demi Moore up, take the substance, she was going to become Demi Moore,
Mm,
oh,
and
yep.
then like I didn't realize, but we're seeing like I thought they were going to do one of those things where what people see isn't what we see as an audience, kind of. I thought it was going to be something like
yeah.
that, but
Um, the only thing I got spoiled on is I saw some meme. We talk full spoilers of the movies here on the Film
yes,
List,
we
correct?
do.
Okay.
Yes,
Hmm.
we do.
So, at the end of the film where she just becomes a blob,
Yeah.
I got spoiled on that because there's some meme going around like, "How's my days going?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh,
That's I
And
saw
I
I
kind of,
saw some of those images too. Same
but
thing.
that's not
Yeah.
a surprise though, right?
Yeah.
Like
No.
if there is every body horror movie has somebody basically become a puddle. Like that's
And
just standard shit. You know
when
what I'm saying?
you
Like it's gonna happen.
when you when one of the first things that they say when she gets a substance, the voice says there will be consequences if you don't or whatever.
Yeah.
There will be you have to be equal all the time or you I can't remember what the exact line is. I mean, everybody that's seen a movie knows that's something like that's going to happen. I think even I had read that even the like the body parts that stop falling off of Demi Moore are the same ones that fall off of Jeff Goldblum in The Fly. I haven't seen The Fly in a very long time, but
mm.
there are a lot of nods like that to other very famous body
Yeah.
horror films.
That's the only thing I'd seen Solo, so I wasn't sure if she split into two, if she became her, if she just appeared,
Yeah,
I didn't know. So I thought her coming like out her back and everything.
I was
They just
shocked.
every choice they made in this film served the narrative and the metaphor and the message. So that's why I thought it deservedly was nominated for an Academy Award for it was Best Picture, right?
Yes,
I thought Demi Moore was great. I was surprised was Margaret Qualley nominated? She was
she was
great.
No.
not. It had
She is an
five.
awesome
Yeah,
actress.
she's
She
great.
has range.
Yeah, she's
She
good.
can and she can change her look with her own expression. Like I mean, she's gorgeous, but she can also kind of look more regular.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like more girl next door-ish. She was in that Maid show on Netflix, right?
Oh, that's right.
So
Yeah.
I think that she just I mean she has a family of acting, but I don't know. This was a wonderful and the end was fucking nutso, right? It goes bonkers.
Crazy.
Freaking nuts.
I
Crazy.
actually, the guy that also surprised me, besides the two leads, obviously, I thought Dennis Quaid was surprisingly creepy and scary almost. He
Fantastic
seemed
he
like he was
was.
out of a David Lynch
Yeah.
film for sure.
Didn't
Yeah,
we talk about how
totally.
he dated Andy McDowell back in the day, Ando? I think on one, or did we talk?
Oh, did we?
Yeah,
I don't remember
one
that.
pod we talked briefly about the substance. Oh, maybe it was Gina and Jenny. It was
No,
like,
it wasn't me because
oh, okay,
this is the
they
first time I've
dated.
talked about the substance. Yeah.
They actually
Really?
dated when Margaret Qualley was little too. Like she had already
Oh.
been born, I think, and she had divorced whatever Qualley guy, whoever Qualley is.
So, have you guys seen any of this director's other films?
I have
No.
not. I don't think.
Okay,
What are they?
when I had the movie, they also have one of her short films on there. It's a 22-minute film. It's called Reality Plus. Have either of you heard of this?
Oh no.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna read the plot description from Wikipedia. I watched it. I actually really loved the short film.
Okay.
In Paris, at some point in the near future, Vincent is unhappy with his appearance and installs Reality Plus, a brain implant that lets users see themselves and others with their dream physique. Those with Reality Plus see themselves as models, while those without must settle for a less ideal reality. However, Reality Plus only works in 12-hour intervals, which poses a challenge for Vincent as he navigates an appearance-obsessed world. And then I'll cut the rest because the rest is a spoiler,
Wow.
but
Is this her first feature, The Substance?
I think it is.
Wow. I mean, she is going to be a
But
great
like
director. I just hope she keeps doing stuff like this and doesn't do like the
you
next
could
fucking Marvel movie.
after I watched
Please.
Reality Plus, I definitely could see where because it's French, it's
That's
the
cool.
subtitles, but it's
Yeah.
basically she basically didn't
Okay.
remake it, but took a lot from that to this. Reality Plus, I highly recommend. It's very good and only 22 minutes. So
I like that. Yeah. Very, very good.
Yeah, Demi knocked it out of the park. And then, like you said, Margaret Qualley, freaking odd, love her in Once Upon a Time in H Wood, and of course, but man, Demi really pulled it together, and I thought this is one of her best performances of her career.
mhm.
Um, do you guys have anything to say about what the movie was about? Like what it meant to you, what you felt after you were done watching it?
Like the obsession with youth in Hollywood and that kind of stuff. Or
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it basically confirmed what I kind of assumed it was already happening in Hollywood. So it was I wasn't. I guess I wasn't shocked by. I thought it's a message that probably needs to get out there, but I kind of assume that's kind of how it is there anyways. I can't really speak to that though. Solo, you probably can much more than I can.
Yeah, I mean, appearance is everything, and especially where well, whether it's society or whatever it is, a man aging is more accepted as a female aging in Hollywood, especially because there's that always that gap of, oh, if you don't make it by the time you're 30, you're not gonna get a job till you're 50, kind of, or whatever the old moniker is. And it's like, why? I mean, there's beautiful women who are older, and that's why like people get plastic surgery and stuff. It irks me because I love just natural beauty. And I understand. The only thing is, like, people, they get this plastic surgery and think they look younger and great, but they look like plastic Barbies. I don't get it when it's gonna stop because
That's
people look
the
terrible, but they keep doing
that's
it.
yeah. That's why the film is so interesting to me, Solo. Exactly what you're saying is because it's not just superficial. Okay, Hollywood puts pressure on you. We understand. And
Yeah.
for women, we're all three white dudes talking about it, three older men, right? I mean, we don't have that same kind of pressures and haven't throughout our lives, maybe except Solo because he is an actor and has been judged on his
Oh,
looks.
judged every
But
day.
that is your industry, though, right? You're
I've
judged on
accepted
that.
it. I
Yeah.
accept it, and I
So you
mean,
can
when a
understand that.
casting notice is like, 40s, gain some weight, Chinese, whatever. So seriously, wait,
But
um,
what I like about the movie is that it pushes, like you're saying, which is like, and I will often say this to Perry because we watch a lot of reality TV and all the women on like the Real Housewives and everything, they all get this plastic surgery and they think it makes them look younger. But what it makes them look like is that they got plastic surgery.
Yeah.
right, right.
They don't look younger. They look like their face is pulled and they've got all this Botox. It doesn't look good. And even young people do this and they think they look younger and good, but they don't look good. It's like putting an Instagram filter on your photo. You look like you have an Instagram filter on your photo and everybody knows it.
Yeah,
Everybody's looking at that going, you have a filter on this photo, so you have a filter on your face.
I'm
And
sure.
it's like I'm sorry, they become
Oh,
like a
fish.
different creature, is what I'm trying to say.
they look
Long
like a
story short.
creature
Yeah, it,
Yeah.
sometimes.
it it's like it's like transhumanism, right? It's like the old sci-fi where like you become a different, like almost a Frankenstein monster,
And I'm sure some of it too is especially ones that people that have bad stuff done and they're like, well, I can still fix this. It's going to get better. The next time is going to be better. The next time is
Yes,
going to be better.
yes,
And
yes.
you keep
Yep.
that's that happens in lots of walks of life, not just plastic surgery stuff, but
Totally,
I could
totally.
definitely see that the grass is always greener kind of a situation, and
It's
even though it
sad,
never will
dude.
be. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a sad situation, but then it becomes more than sad. it becomes like they're different creatures. And that's why I thought the end of the movie was so
And
awesome,
you know,
because that's what she becomes.
there is one thing I do like about that. I shouldn't say like, but I thought was interesting that it's not like she was doing this to become an Oscar-winning actress or something. She was doing this because she was
Yeah,
hosting a workout video.
yeah.
And I'm like, you're willing to do all of this just to be a star of a music like a home shopping network star is all your that's the
Well,
high
she
bar you're
was,
going
yeah,
here. It's not you're going it's that
she
part I
was
did think
very
was quite
rich.
yeah.
And I like the way it was her choice too. They didn't bag it off like she
Yeah.
wasn't a horrible person. She was. She was just as bad as Dennis Quaid and everybody else. That's what I liked about this movie too, is they didn't pull any punches on any of the characters.
Hmm.
All right. Let's move on to 849, fellas. The next on the film list. Coming in at 849. In a time of conflict, a group of unlikely heroes band together on a mission to steal the plans to the Death Star. The film, Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Released on my 39th birthday, December 16th,
Ah,
2016, made $533 million on a $200 million budget. Opened at number one, stayed there for 3 weeks, was the number one film at the box office in 2016. Directed by Gareth Edwards, written by Chris Weitz and Tony Gilroy, story by John Knoll and Gary Whitta, based on characters created by George Lucas. This is the third Star Wars film to make the film list. Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith only 2 spots ago was here. So Felicity Jones as starring Felicity Jones as Jyn Erso, Diego Luna as Cassian Andor, Alan Tudyk as K2SO, Donnie Yen as Chirrut Imwe, Wen Zhang as Baze Moldus, Ben Mendelsohn as director Orson Krennic, Forrest Whitaker as Saw Gerrera, Riz Ahmed as Bodhi Rook, Mads Mikkelsen as Galen Erso, Jimmy Smits as Bail Organa, and James Earl Jones as the voice of Darth Vader. Solo, Rogue One. We've
great
got Darth
film.
Axel ready to go. I can
Darth
see it right
Axel's
now.
ready, but I will say, I know a lot of people love this film. I did too. I didn't think it was the greatest film ever, but it's pretty damn good. Like if you're it as a favorite, it's 840 whatever, 849. But like as a
849,
film,
yes.
yeah, as a film, if we weren't just doing my favorites, this would be way higher on my list because I think it's like a heist movie that has the backdrop of Star Wars. It's not your traditional Star Wars film, but it's in that world that really sets an amazing tone, and I want more of from the Star Wars universe. And the fact that, of course, I get giddy when you see Princess Leia, and you know, it's just like, what? Oh, this is awesome! How it's connected. I get so into the connections. But it's a very good film, and of course, now we have the Andor series, which is before, and that's probably the best Star Wars series. I am a Mandalorian fan, but I did really like the first season of Andor. But I'm glad they went with this because it wasn't your traditional Skywalker, trilogy film or whatever. This really was was this the first offshoot movie
This
ex-
was yeah,
or second?
it was between The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi is when it was released.
Okay, okay. So this was the first of even before TV shows, right? Or do we
Yep.
get okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just want to
This was
so yeah,
pre-Disney
this
Plus.
Hmm.
oh it is.
Yeah, it's owned by Disney, but Disney Plus didn't come out till after.
Oh, okay, okay, gotcha. But I mean, it's a great film, and I'm looking forward to rewatching it before Andor, just to kind of, I don't know, I don't necessarily have to, but I kind of like get when I'm in that zone. Like if you're watching Daredevil, so I'm not gonna watch The Punisher. I get
Uh-huh.
those spurts of the Star Wars universe. Um, I didn't like Acolyte and a few others, but I liked the Skywalker films. I didn't love the latest one. I love Force Awakens will be high on the list. But 8 and 9 will not make it. Uh, though I liked parts of them. That's for another day. But Rogue One, let's talk Rogue One. Great film. What did you think? Axel Foley from House Foley.
Wow. Kind of everything I ever wanted out of a Star Wars film, to take it more seriously, to up the ante, to make an adult Star Wars movie because that's what this is. This is pretty much this and Andor are really the only adult Star Wars things. Everything else really is for kids, and that's okay. I love that. But this is for adults. So when people talk about, when you're our age, talk about Star Wars, you should be talking about, do you like Andor and do you like Rogue One? And if you do, then you should be happy with some of the adult stuff they've done. Maybe, hopefully, they do more with. I mean, they get a good response from Andor. I thought this movie was really awesome, and the crazy thing is, it had a troubled production.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
to have such a troubled production, and to come out with such a good film is kind of rare, but as
Very
we've
rare.
talked, we were just talking about this yesterday, Solo. Like sometimes the prequel, sequel, whatever, you think it's gonna suck, but and it's all fucked up. You hear terrible shit, and then you watch it, and you're like, this is good. Like I really like it. So the characters, when you look at this cast, even like just the background people, it's crazy. It's just such good casting. The faces, the characters, So I don't
Yeah.
know, man. I have nothing but positive things. And Felicity Jones was awesome. I don't always love her. Sometimes she can be a little twee, a little British for me, maybe.
Well, she is British,
But
but
well,
Well,
sometimes people can be too American for me too.
well,
You know what I'm
that's
saying,
true.
man? Come
That's
on.
true.
how you doing,
Right?
Axel?
Exactly.
Would you like some
Solo sent me
beer?
that John Mellencamp song. It took me a little bit. I got through the country vibe in the beginning, but then I listened.
He's from
Oh,
Indiana, not like
I
the
know.
deep South,
I know.
Axel.
Yeah,
I
come
don't
on,
even know. I'm
Axel.
from fucking New Jersey, dude. Everyone
Oh,
that
here we
way,
go.
come
He's
on.
from fucking New Jersey,
Hey,
man. I I
Mellencamp's a
directed a
Midwest
film
boy. I
that we
gotta
might
defend
talk
him.
about.
Hey,
So
you're East Coast too,
I
Solo. Come
know,
on,
I
you're my
know, I
brother.
know, I know, I am. I'm with you, brother.
We're all the same.
That's why I can make fun of you, because I'm
That's
just
true.
saying
That's true.
it's making fun of myself too.
That was a perfect face. That he was like, "Well, fucking a."
Did I do my Popeye
Um,
face or my bitter beer face?
that's
Or...
a little bit. But I don't know. I don't have much more to say other right now with the intro, but this is great. When I was watched this, I was watching it like, wow, they really made this?
Yeah.
Like
Ando,
yeah,
it looked
this
really good.
let's get you, since your nickname's Ando, for God's sakes.
Yeah, Endo Calrissian.
I freaking love this film. Like I said, it came out on my birthday and it came out like I think it was a Wednesday release or something. So the kids were in school, Claire was at work, or kids were at, no, the kids were before the kids were born. Excuse me, they weren't even born yet.
Hello,
So
what are your kids, 35? No.
Claire was at work, so I'm like, it's Star Wars. It came out on my birthday. I went to the first matinee like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I had to drive through a blizzard because it was the middle of December. My wife was really mad at me because I was driving through a blizzard to go see a Star Wars movie. But I just, especially the last 45 minutes of this film, are so freaking awesome. Some of the best Star Wars
Yeah.
action that has ever been done. The whole attack on Scarif and all of this is
That's
so
the other.
awesome.
Thank you, Ando.
So
That's the
good.
other part of it. Is it's great action,
Yeah,
right? Like
and
it's propulsive.
like the last 5 or 6 minutes with when Darth Vader, we finally see Darth Vader just freaking unleashed, and it's
Oh
like it was
yeah.
just I'm
It
like
was,
this is what I've wanted to see for 30 years.
you're right.
Just
Right.
awesome stuff, and I love all the stuff before that too. This movie looks great. Just the shots, like when the Death Star, they're doing the first Death Star test, and the planet is starting to blow up, and you see the explosion from space, and you see the debris come out, and just visually, it's just really fun to watch. I just and like you said, the cast, Diego Luna, Alan Tudyk, Felicity Jones, they're all awesome. I am a huge fan of this movie, and I'm also a big Andor was my number one film of the year, or number one show of the year when that came out. So I'm super excited. Andor season two. Well, when we're recording this, it only comes out in a couple weeks, so
Oh.
very excited for this. Yeah, I
We
don't.
got to talk a little Andor on the pod, guys. I
Oh yeah,
think, you know what I was thinking is, I was learning from Julian that
yeah. It's
what they're
three
doing
episodes
is
a week.
it's 3 episodes a week. Yeah.
Yep.
And it jumps a year. It's 12 episodes, four three
Mm-hmm.
episode pods, like the old Lost
The
Pods,
trilogies.
remember?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it would be fun. Maybe we could do like an episode on each
Yeah. Each
pod or so,
block.
even if it's after, depending on what else, because that's a lot to watch in one week though, too. I don't know if I'm going to watch 3 episodes in one week.
Well, it depends though, because a lot of the Star Wars shows are only 40 minutes or 38 minutes or something. I mean, if
Yeah,
I mean, if it's a full hour, that's a little different. But if they're for like a lot of Mandalorian in the first season of Andor, there was some that were just over a half an hour, if I remember right. So
Yeah, and I
That's
got a lot
still,
of
I don't.
moonlighting to watch.
that's
So
true. Yeah,
Oh, some walk
we'll see.
by
We'll see when we get there. But
night, some fly
some
by
by
day,
day,
moonlighting
nothing is something.
now
strangers
you guys can see me shake my head on
who
YouTube. You
just
can just see me
met
shake here,
On
on
shake
the
the
my head when you.
way.
Yes.
And Axel's got a camera. He's like singing like freaking
I'm grabbing. I'm gonna do the
Bobby
American
Darin
Idol thing where they slap their hand on the
or
mic. Like I
Michael
hate when fucking
Stipe
singers do that. It's so annoying.
or
But
Scott Weiland. I'm just gonna
yeah.
start naming all this shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Al Jolson.
Uh,
I meant Al Jarreau. That's what I really meant. Al Jolson was
that's
Jesse.
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Um,
So
what
yeah,
were we
Rogue
saying? Oh,
One.
so for Andor though, that's a weird release schedule, isn't it, guys? I don't know. Three, that's a lot. That is a lot. And you know what? That doesn't favor podcast,
It doesn't
YouTube. It doesn't favor that
it doesn't favor podcasts because
and discussion.
like what we had with Severance the week to week.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think they're trying probably maybe it's a happy medium because you're getting like the little trilogies each week.
Well,
Maybe they've written it to be like I think they probably
and
have.
that's if you
A
remember
movie.
the first
Yeah.
season was kind of that way, where it would be like 2 or 3 episodes, or kind of like there was the
Yes.
prison
It
episodes,
was
there
in the
was the episodes
yes,
before that,
yes,
there
yeah.
was the heist episodes,
But
there
this
was
is
the
going to be even more delineated
yeah,
because it's a year is going to
yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, that
guessing it
makes
was
sense why
written
they're
to do
doing it
that.
though.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
But
they're
I
gonna
and
do the year
also
thing.
Julian said that this is it. The
Yeah,
last episode is going to lead directly
yeah. It
into
leads into
Rogue
Rogue
One.
One. Yep, that is true.
Oh,
Yeah. So
I'm
this is
sexually
it.
aroused, Commander.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
I
that's
like that idea too. That's
I
very
like
cool.
it, but it makes me feel like they're burning it off or something, and that worries me a little bit. But then again, a lot of these companies are in flux. We get what we get.
Oh,
Glad
yeah.
we got Rogue One, but it's not gonna be repeated though because of the problems that they had with production. That's the only issue, though. I guess Andor is
It's
kind
okay.
of
We don't need 10 seasons of
yeah.
Andor. We
That's
get two
true. You're
great
right.
Yeah.
seasons and a Rogue
You
One.
know what? That's a great point, Solo.
And
Hmm.
We don't
two
always
seasons and
need
a
more,
Rogue One
more,
on the
more.
film
Yeah,
list.
like I'd rather have 2 seasons of that than endless Skywalker
Yep.
sequels.
Just
Like,
like the substance taught
You want
us,
to see
guys, right?
17
yeah.
seasons of Acolyte
No, I'm good.
if they're 2-minute
No, there were
episodes?
parts of that were cool. Inside
There
that
was one
show,
episode that had a really great fight,
yeah,
That I
really great
liked.
lightsaber
some of
fight.
the
That I liked.
concepts were okay, but also that lead, she was
She
not
wasn't,
compelling. Act
and they
wasn't the
freaking
right
tricked
choice.
me with freaking Carrie Ann Moss. I thought the show
Yeah,
was all about going to
I
be about
know.
her. That's why I watched it.
So Solo's got a Carrie Ann Moss memento tattoo on his arm or some shit.
I have that. She was in like Luke Cage or something, or
Well,
she was
there
in a
you
Marvel
go. We
He
show.
like that
wears the same
Canadian.
trench coat she wore in The Matrix. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Only at
I just
night
saw her
though.
in Chuck. She was Adam Baldwin's love interest. She was
No, he gets
great.
Renata to wear the trench coat. So that's
oh
what
yeah,
happened
there
there.
we
No.
go.
Come on,
Nice.
come on.
Now you're giving Solo ideas.
Nothing, no disagreements there.
So, are we
Any
ready to move
last
on?
words? Any last?
I could talk Rogue One forever.
It
So,
got Oscar nominee for best sound mixing and special effects, but just nominated, didn't win. Um,
Well, that stuff was wonderful too. The effects
mhm.
in it, everything looked great.
Rex and
Yeah,
Effect.
yeah. Just I only have positive things to say about that film.
Very good
Yep.
film. Which leads to our next one. That it's going to get somebody very excited on this pod, maybe 2 people,
Oh.
maybe even 3.
Oh, that's all
Coming
of
in at
us.
8:48, folks. An unhinged American general orders a bombing attack on the Soviet Union, triggering a path to nuclear holocausts that a war room full of politicians and generals frantically tries to stop. The film, Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. Maybe even atomic bomb.
Released on January 29th, 1964. Made $9.5 million on a $1.8 million budget. This is the first film directed by Stanley Kubrick to make the film list. This is also the first film on the film list to make my personal top 100.
Hey,
this is my number
Red
49
Surf
favorite
wasn't
film.
your.
Red Surf did
Ando's
not make it.
49.
I love this film. I think it's the best film we've talked about so far. So written by
Whoa.
written by Stanley Kubrick and Terry Southern and Peter George, based on the novel Red Alert by Peter George, starring George C. Scott as General Buck Turgison, Sterling Hayden as Brigadier General Jack D.
Sterling
Ripper,
K. Brown? Oh, no, Sterling Hayden. Sorry.
Keenan Wynn
Yes.
as Colonel Bat Guano, Slim Pickens as Major King Kong, Peter Bull as Russian Ambassador Alexei de Sadetsky, James Earl Jones, again, second movie in a row, as Lieutenant Lothar Zog, Tracy Reed as Miss Scott, Peter Sellers as Group Captain Lionel Mandrake, Peter Sellers as President Merkin Muffley, Peter Sellers as Dr. Strangelove. Solo. I have
All
Dr.
right.
Strangelove Criterion disc playing next to me right now.
Oh,
Let's talk about Dr.
I
Strangelove.
got another film in the background, but we won't
Perfect.
talk about
We'll
it
get
yet.
there.
We'll get there. But okay, this is my history with Doctor Strangelove. Saw it for the first time 6 months ago. I had never seen it. I've seen clips of a cowboy riding a bomb and different things in film school that I can't remember. So I've been late to the early Kubrick train. I know Axel, it's his favorite director of all time. I think it's still his favorite director. We'll get to hear from him in a second. But I just wanted a dramatic pause there for a second.
I love dramatic
So
pauses.
yeah, so I saw this finally for the first time. And the fact that it's 8:48 just shows you. I mean, over time, if had I watched this earlier in my life, this would have been much higher. But I was blown away. Of course, Kubrick is a genius, but the acting, the tempo, just I mean, Peter Sellers, I love Peter Sellers is just freaking awesome. I love seeing a young James Earl Jones. That made me smile. But Sterling Hayden, I don't know if I've seen him in other things. I'm sure I have, as we'll talk about. But like I haven't seen much of him, and I really liked him. And of course, George C. Scott's George C. Scott. I mean, how can you not? But visually, this film is uh, it's hands down. If we're talking best films of all time, best, this is up. This is up there, pretty freaking high. X, I know this is your favorite director of all time. I bought you a book, and you thought it was going to be a little book, and it was the big book.
I mean, what is there to say about this? Is an all-time greatest film. I mean, yeah, Stanley Kubrick is my favorite director because I think that he was able to make any type of film in any genre with any tone and make it his own. And you know he made it. And it's not only great acting, great writing, impeccable direction, and impeccable camera angles. Sick shit that if you watch this film without the sound on, your mind is blown. I mean, I've watched this movie so many times. That's the old movie trick. You watch movies with the sound off. If you want to learn about angles and series of cuts and why a director goes from a wide to a mid to a close up or amidst the mid or what side they're shooting from. You can learn all that just by watching. Watch this film and you can learn all of that about it. It is just the funniest shit. It's satirical. It's sad. If you could watch it at different times and it will have a completely different meaning depending on who the president is or what's happening in the country or the world. It's a classic that it's timeless, though it's in a specific time. We talked Solo. I'm not always the biggest Peter Sellers fan. To me, Sterling Hayden is like the star of this movie, and it's really his film. And I think that he is the man, you know? He's a
Do
guy, I
you
told you.
think, Axel, if Sterling K. Brown was in this role, it would be just as good?
See, now I'm trying to be serious about the
That's what we
I'm not
do. We
talking
get
about
all.
boobs.
He's out.
he's
All right,
he's done.
Ando.
I'm back. No,
Oh,
I
oh, that
love
was
this. I love this film.
you like time
My
travel.
cough drop is falling out of my mouth, so I don't want anyone to see me spit it. Um, I
Get banned from
yeah,
YouTube.
what else can you say? It's so smartly written, it's shot. The infamous, we
Well,
know what was taken out of it, the pie fight that was supposed to end the movie, and
oh, I
then they
didn't know.
had the
I know
bomb.
Yep.
nothing.
Yeah, there's all these
Jon Snow.
stories that I could get into about the
Okay.
film, but people have to watch it, and it's funny as shit. And it's also a masterclass in filmmaking at the same time.
100%.
The tone is impeccable. How do you even achieve this tone where you're
It's
so fucking
remarkable.
serious, but it's so ridiculous at the same time? It's impossible. The
Yep.
commitment.
It's freaking amazing. And what I'll say, Ando, to kind of get you started is again, as I'm watching these films, maybe films I haven't in the 50s, 60s, say, you're beginning to realize why Hitchcock, why Kubrick, why some of these directors of this time are freaking geniuses and the greatest ever. Because I watched this movie for the first time in 2024 and I felt it held up and it could have been like a retro movie done now if someone wanted to go back,
Yeah.
do a black and white. Like that's how good this movie is. And it's just like I it's remarkable. It just blew me away. Uh I can't, it's here because I can't call it a favorite of mine because I've only, anyway,
Yes.
I
I've
have my
decided not, I'm
factors.
not going to ask you why this amazing film is this high. And I didn't even ask, Solo. I'm
Well, I
not even going to
explained
ask. It's
it. I
okay.
explained
Yeah.
It's,
why.
yes, it's your film list. And
No,
I accept
no,
that.
I'm not a dictator. It's just no, I'm saying is
I
I saw it for the first time recently. Had I
know,
saw
buddy.
it at a younger age,
Well,
I'm
and
sure it would have been higher on my
I think
list.
I think too, this is a film that it's it is improved, not maybe not improved, but it's one of those rare films that every time you watch it, you pick up something new or you appreciate something new because it is
Right.
Yeah,
so
it's
rich.
ridiculous.
Everything is, and or you can watch it and one time just pay attention to Peter Sellers, and the next time just pay attention to George C. Scott, or just pay attention to the filmmaking, or
I had
everything.
forgot Ando Peter Sellers was playing multiple characters.
Yes,
And I was like, wait a minute. I had one of those moments. I'm
yeah,
like,
and it's
this isn't like Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy. This is
because this film has, in my opinion, and like I say, every time I go back and watch it every couple of years. I didn't watch it until I was an adult, and at that time it was I was probably 18 or so, just when I was just kind of figuring out directors and that kind of thing. I had seen 2001 forever, and when I realized that the guy that made 2001 made this, it was like this mind-blowing experience for me. Like, how can one person make this same thing? And
That's
that's
why
when
I
I
love
and
you, Ando.
I became obsessed with this
Yeah.
film and just I will watch it over and over again. And it's like I said, each time I appreciate it more every time I watch, and I've grown to love it. I didn't love it right away. I laughed a lot. I couldn't believe I was laughing at it. And then it's one of those ones that just sticks with you. And then the more you rewatch it, it just becomes more brilliant every single time. It's just, I think it's my, and what I was going to ask you, Axel, where's this rank on your Kubrick rankings? This is my second favorite Kubrick.
Really, I
After
don't,
2001, this is my second favorite.
you know, I don't have a ranking. You guys know that.
Well,
what the
2001's your
you're on the
favorite, isn't
film
it?
list. What the hell are you
I
doing? You're
love this
trashing
movie.
my
It's hard to, it's in my, I'll put it to you this way. This would be one of the Kubrick films that I'd want to rewatch more often, right? And have rewatched more often
Well, I think it's probably his
because
funnest film. I mean,
it
if fun
is.
is a word, I
But
mean,
but
fun, you can't really
initially,
describe it, but
yeah, see, one thing, like you said, Andy, in the beginning, you might not love it because it's challenging,
hmm
right? Like sometimes you're like, what is he really satirizing here?
yeah.
What is he saying? It's not so fucking on the nose because he's a fucking genius and he
hmm
doesn't want to just do a one layer of what he's
Yeah.
doing. It's multi-layered. And that's like with Sellers, the characters he portrays as well. And the Doctor Strangelove himself. What the fuck is that about? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot being said there.
Woohoo!
I, I think one of the things I can remember about first
That
watching this
guy
too,
too, with the cowboy hat,
it's
right?
it's
Like
a
this,
slim.
it's
Oh,
so deep.
oh, and I remember seeing. I think the first time I saw it was like on a
Slim
little
Pickens.
10-inch TV screen. I mean, it was a tiny TV. I rented a VHS from the library, I think. But I remember watching it and thinking, I'm not smart enough to understand this film. And to me,
Yeah.
that's a sign of
Yeah,
a
me
good film. And I
too.
mean, and
Me
I've
too.
seen enough now. I think I understand or get most of it now. But the first couple times I thought, I'm like, this is operating on a level that I didn't even know was possible. So
Yeah.
it's
It's
in a
very
good way.
challenging.
Yeah, I
And
love
now,
this.
without looking, both of you close your eyes right now. Close your eyes. Guys, see on camera. Solo, how long is this movie?
2 hours and 42 minutes.
Ando, how long is this movie?
It's shorter than it. I want to say it's like 145 or something like that. I know it's shorter than what I think it
Did
should
I
be.
just say it was a five
It's
hour movie?
1 hour and 35 minutes long.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I remember it being shorter than what you would think it
Why did
would.
I think it was Dances with Wolves
But
Irishman
it's
length?
deep. But that's the
Yeah.
thing is like a Kubrick movie, even at an hour and a half, again, which I think is a perfect film length, it's still so deep. It feels like it's a masterpiece that is 2.5 hours long, Solo. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Well, I think I've used this
it's
analogy on
interesting.
the film list before. It's like eating a steak. It's not
Yeah,
a 2 hour, two and a
no,
half hour Michael Bay cheeseburger. This is a freaking filet mignon,
yeah.
$80 steak you're eating here.
Because it is so funny, but then you're also at points, it's like tense and scary.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
Love
great
it.
film.
Kind of like
So
this podcast. But every
tense and
time
scary, yes.
Axel's favorite line today is deep, and all I can think is how deep is your love? How
Your
deep
love,
is
how
your
deep is
is
your
your
love?
love?
I love when you hear
We're
Axel because
living in a world of this.
the film list always has like 50% more
Sorry,
singing
sorry.
when Axel's here. So
Sorry. I get the mic and I'm on the YouTube.
I
I
know,
can
like
see
Axel's on
myself. I
freaking
like, you
American
know,
Bandstand or Idol or
guys,
whatever.
my dream really, and Perry knows this, okay? Because she's here, heard me.
Just be a BG cover band.
No, my dream is to do a YouTube channel of completely like perverted X-rated songs that I sing. Like where I just come on here and sing perverted, really X-rated sexual songs.
I mean, you can't.
I'd get
You
banned though,
can't make
because the
this shit
shit
up
I
on the
come up
film
with
list.
no, you
can't.
cannot.
it's really bad, but that's what I dream of doing one day. One day I'm going to do it. Dr. Love, I think is what I might be called. Dr. Love.
Smooth jazz.
Yeah.
Dr. Love.
So this movie also didn't win any Oscars.
Yeah, no shit. They didn't like Stanley. He
Lost
was
to
Nominated for
like,
My
Best
Fair
fuck
Picture,
you.
Lady.
Director, yeah,
He's too
actor,
New
but
York.
no.
Well, there was an anti-New York bias in the Oscars for a really, really long. There still kind of is. Come on, get the fuck out of here. Every
Whoa, no, let's
true.
stay. It's the film list.
You're like Jack Black there for a second. So.
I feel like Jack Black,
Hey,
minus the
everybody.
bank account.
So, do you have anything else to say about Doctor Strangelove Solo yourself?
No, I don't.
All right, let's move along, right?
All right,
Do it,
coming
baby.
in at 8:47. Whoa. Has this, I don't know, Ando, this has never been done, I don't think, what I'm about to do.
Not back to back.
Back to back,
Back to
first
back.
back to back of the same director. Crook Johnny Clay assembles a five-man team to plan and execute a daring racetrack robbery.
Yeah.
The film, The Killing.
Yep.
Released
Yep.
June 6, 1956. Made $130,000 on a budget of $320,000. The second film in a row written and directed by Stanley Kubrick, based on the novel Clean Break by Lionel White. The second film in a row starring Sterling Hayden, this time as Johnny Clay, Colleen Gray as Faye, Vince Edwards as Val Cannon, J.C. Flippin as Marvin Unger, and Marie Windsor as Sherry.
Sherry, baby, Sherry. All right, The Killing, folks, coming in at 8:47. Like this just a little bit more than Doctor Strangelove because it's a heist. I love the characters. I could see over time where Doctor Strangelove would every time I watch it. Oh, it's at 7:57. Oh, it's at 6. If I had that time. But The Killing, another great film. I mean, again, I'm liking the Sterling Hayden guy a lot, evidently. But I just really love this whole I mean, just again, 1956.
Mhm.
You watch it now. I'm sorry. Like, when we talked about Ando, we talked about the Jack the Ripper movie
Yep.
that I had on the film list, um, about about Jack the Ripper that looked good. It was like shot well and stuff.
Yeah.
But then you compare it to the Kubrick, and you're like, oh my God, okay, that
Yeah.
was a fun movie, and I thought it was better than it was. But this is like
Yeah. That was a fun little
masterpiece
whim.
level.
Yeah. This
Yeah,
is.
this is like 1956. A film looks like this, Axel. How did you
Yeah,
do
man.
it?
Uh, wow. You want me to
Substance? You
talk?
took the
I
substance
took
and
the
then
substance. That's how I got this hair. Came out of my head. I was asleep. Am I talking about the killing now? Is that what's
yes.
happening? Oh, listen, this is really Stanley Kubrick's first movie, right? So he did Fear and Desire and Killer's Kiss. Now, Killer's Kiss, he kind of disavowed at certain points in his career, but
Yep.
has some fucking awesome sequences in it. Not the best acting, little clunky direction and editing as well. You can tell, he borrowed money from his uncle, I think, who was a dentist in Queens. And this is really his first film. And to me, it is a fucking masterpiece. To my two favorite heist films of all time, heist, I guess, is it really a kind of heist? The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 and The Killing. The original, folks, Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, not the remake. Lord
It's the
Jesus.
Beastie Boy song. Take it down, 1, 2, 3. Come see me.
Is that really, do
Sorry.
they say that in that
Yeah,
song?
they say in it. Yeah, I
I
can't remember
love
which
that.
one.
I love the
Take
Beastie
it down,
Boys.
1, 2, 3.
But this is just a
All right.
fun movie, dude. It's a heist. They're robbing the racetrack. It's got the Rashomon different perspectives. It plays with angles and light in a way that he was fucking around with in photography. He's a photographer for Look magazine. And it's a series of moving images, pictures. He's learning how to make films. For a first film, it's fantastic. Sterling Hayden is great. The
Not
rest of the
Sterling K.
cast is
Brown.
great.
Not Sterling K. Brown.
Not Sterling K. Brown, though he does have his own language,
And
which
not
is
Hayden
coming.
Christensen either.
Not
So
Hayden
Jeez,
Christensen
I'm getting
either.
confused.
I
Nope,
know.
nope,
No,
nope. No, it's the
sorry.
Irish cop from The Godfather,
Yep.
That's
as we
right.
talked about.
Sterling Hayden.
Um, and this is just such a fun movie. And I think the other thing is, gentlemen, how long is this movie?
Yeah, that's another cool
Wait, I'm
short one.
closing my eyes.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna
say like,
say 98 minutes.
yeah, I'm gonna say about 145.
125.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm off.
This
Wait,
125.
is it's a lean
125 minutes, or is that what you mean? 125
Efficiency,
minutes?
folks.
1 hour
Efficiency.
and 25
Okay.
minute 1 hour and
Or
25 minutes or 125 minutes.
1 hour and 25
Okay, 1 hour
minutes.
and
An
25
oh,
hour and a
one
minutes.
half.
hour and 25, because I thought it was a little
Yeah.
over 2 hours with the
Nope.
120.
Yeah, it's lean.
90
It's
minutes.
I just rewatched this
85
Oh, so I was
minutes.
probably
close then.
a month ago, a month and a half ago. I hadn't seen it in a
Yeah.
long time. I barely remembered any of it. I couldn't believe how influential this is to other films that I
Yeah.
love. Like Reservoir Dogs. I mean, Tarantino has said this was like the primary influence was this film or The Dark Knight. Like the whole thing, the whole
Yep.
heist basically the
Yep.
Joker uses in The Dark Knight.
The
They
mask,
even the
everything,
masks.
dude.
And like everybody
Yes.
doesn't know what the other person is doing. And I was like, holy
Yes.
shit, this is The Dark Knight. And I was just loving every
This
second of it.
is
And
this is
the,
the heist movie, man,
even
of all heist movies.
even like Terminator 2 takes a thing from it. There's the scene when Arnold has the rifle in the rose
It's
box.
not a
That is
tumor.
also used in this movie.
Yep.
That's where they got it. That's where Cameron got that for
Yep.
T2. It's just I really, really I've either didn't realize how good this was the first time I saw it many, many years ago, or just needed a reminder that this is a great I love, like I said, how quick and fast paced and lean it is. And actually the end of this movie I thought was hilarious. Like the last 3 minutes, what happens? I couldn't believe how funny it was at the end because it's I don't I just I really really enjoyed this film a lot.
Yep. Ando, I couldn't have said it better myself. So fun too, right? Like
Hmm.
this is fun to watch. It's a quick watch. It's going to keep your attention. Yeah, it's black and white. It's not widescreen, HD, all this shit. You know what? It looks a little old. It's a great movie, kids. Go out and watch it. Not
Yeah.
even kids. If you're 30 years old, you're a fucking kid. Go out and watch it. I'm getting charged up by the film list talking about great old films, some Kubrick shit, man. I
I
love it.
know.
This
It
movie is
was
great.
tailored to you. I'm coming back, gents.
And now, Solo, I can do a transition, or I can tell
Please,
you.
please do.
Also, can I just say, Timothy Carey, what a face on him. He was in so many great old movies.
Harry
Killing of the
Carey's in
Chinese
this?
Bookie,
Jeez.
Minnie and Moskowitz, The
Mm,
Killing. This guy had such a face, just the faces of the people. Vince Edwards, the cast in The Killing is great too.
hmm.
And it's just also it's got that feel where you're like you can feel him setting up the shots. You know what I mean? Like you're like, oh, okay. The camera comes in, it moves in a certain way. The use of the location, how important that
Oh
is, because
yeah,
Kubrick
yeah.
is all about location. So love it. And you know what? The Killing actually inspired was the main inspiration of another film.
Oh, and
Well, I
that
was,
film. Oh,
you
but
know,
before we get that, Axel, let's have Ando talk.
well, I was gonna say let's go from the greatest director of all time to the second greatest director of all time.
Oh, oh,
Oh,
oh,
oh,
oh, Mike Hall,
whoa.
Mikey Hall.
Mikey Hull. All right. Coming in at 846 is a movie close to my heart. Aaron, a Kansas transplant, is alone in New York City and just wants to buy a bag of weed. The film is called Smokers.
So if I get any of these details wrong, please correct me. But the DVD premiere on March 8th, 2008, written and directed by Mike Hull and W. Axel Foley, starring Wilfredo Morales as Carlos, Mike
Yeah,
Hull as Aaron, Ada
yeah,
Angadi, excuse me, as Paula, Ryan Moore as Bill, and introducing R. Ernie Silva as Indo.
yeah. There you go, baby.
All right,
All right.
quick before we're gonna get into the mind of Axel Foley because he was DP, co-directed, created. Was his baby back in the day. I just met Axel doing Lost podcasting. He's like, dude, check out my film, Smokers. So I got it on the Netflix, sending me a disc.
That's
Yep.
also how I
And
watched it the first time on
first
Netflix.
time
Yeah.
I watched it, I
Just
bought the DVD not too long
Oh,
ago
that's
so I could
sweet,
have it in my
guys. I
collection.
appreciate it.
But like I was like, I really enjoyed this film, not only because my new friend directed it, but it was like you know the budget, you know what it goes into make do indie films, prime example. But like I was sucked in by the music and the frickin' split screens and everything moving like the film Bullet. Like it caught me it and honestly, like I mean, I probably knew you a couple of years, but maybe as long as I know you now when I watched this film. But I was just, yeah, the acting isn't the greatest. Let's just put it there. But
What?
yeah, the acting's rough.
What the
But,
fuck?
but as an actor, everyone gives it their all. They,
I'm back.
they are, how do I put it? They're in the scene. Like I never, if someone's not the greatest actor or never acted before, it's not as easy as it looks. But everyone committed to this, in my opinion, gave it their all, and I
No one was
appreciate that.
paid. No one
And
was
no one was
paid.
paid, and I appreciate that. And so that aside, visually, I think this is edited great, shot great. I mean, especially with the resources you have, the backdrop of New York City. I just love. There's this one where there's a split screen, and then I think the guys are singing like they're doing something by the trash can or something. I loved that. I love how you open it and it's boom, Mikey Hull trying to get a bag of weed, and we get introduced to Indo and frickin' Ernie. That dude, I loved him in this movie.
Yeah.
He's like the breakout star. And then I remember we saw him in Detroit
Yeah.
187. He did an arc on there, and I was like, dude, this dude, that's I think one of the first things I told Axel, I go, this dude's good. This dude's good. And
He
he
is. Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
in a sense, carries the film when his on-screen presence. is great. But I just love what you did and how you attacked it visually. I thought it was a little retro 70s-ish with the modern feel, but you've seen so many bad movies and different independent movies, and there's just no heart in it. There's no trying to attempt to do something. And this goes for it, and I think you accomplished it. It would be nice to throw $1 million at you and see what you could do with that. But with what you had and everything, I do love this film,
Thank
and
you.
it is one of my favorites. Sorry that Aquaman beat it out on the film list, but um, but no, Axel, this is sorry. Well, shout out to Momoa. I know Axel hates Aquaman.
That's
I
pretty
love how you
fun,
spend like
actually.
3 minutes just completely pumping him
I
up and then
like
like,
Amber
sorry
Heard
about
now,
Aquaman.
That's what I do. But no, seriously, man,
Oh
you
gosh.
need to make another
Sign me up.
movie. First of all, you need to make another movie. Um,
Uh,
but you and Mikey, I mean, and Mikey having to be the lead, stepping in. I know you didn't want to do it, right? Well, Axel's going to talk about it. Before we get really into it, though, I want Ando's little initial reaction, and then Axel.
yes, and I'm gonna get
Let's
a cough drop.
get a cough drop, and then we'll dive into get the exclusive coverage of Smokers since we got the director on.
Yeah, I also really enjoy this. Like I say, that you can tell the budget limitations, but we've all watched enough films you can we can look past that, so that doesn't really bother me. It actually reminded me a ton of like After Hours, the Scorsese
Oh,
After
I
Hours
love
film.
After Hours.
It
Yes.
really that was the vibe I really got from it a lot.
Hmm.
Besides the obvious Kubrick and Reservoir Dogs and some of those kind of references that I
Right.
could see, but
There you
it
go.
really
Right.
gave an After Hours type of vibe, which I really liked because that's such a unique vibe that not many films go for. So
Right.
I
Right.
really enjoyed that. I have more questions for Axel once we get going than really. I mean, what you said it perfectly. So I mean, my thoughts echo almost yours in almost every
Well, the
way.
talent of the editing is what makes this film better than it should have been. I
Oh,
mean, in my opinion, I think
oh.
the way it was put together, editing wise, I, I, I honestly, and I'm not bullshitting you, I really like the way this thing is put together. I love the vibe of it, and
Well, you can thank that hard work to Mikey Hall. It was my concept, but it was his
right.
execution. Um, the idea, like I've told this story before, we were just hanging out. That's how we met each other. That was the day we met. We came up with the idea for this movie. I had been thinking about it for a while because I thought it would be cool to make a movie where everybody dies except for the one person who's not trying to commit any violence or do anything. They're just kind of like an everyman person.
Hmm.
And then everybody kind of dies around them. And then they end up with all the money and all the drugs and the
Everything, yeah.
guns, which is what happens in this movie.
Uh-huh.
You don't realize that until the end of the movie that
Yeah, the
Mike's sitting on the couch
the
and
first time
everybody's
I watched
dead.
it, I definitely was very kind of almost shocked at the ending. I did not see it coming, so I probably should
Yeah.
have in retrospect, but yes.
So it was that was kind of the idea, and I had been talking about it with my friend Lou. And then we met Mike one night and he had made movies and we said, "Hey, let's do this movie. Let's make this movie together." And that's what we did. And yeah, it was fun.
So the solo referenced something about Mike didn't want to star in it. What's the deal with that? Somebody quit or something or what?
No, well, I think that he wanted to try to do directing instead of
Okay.
acting. He had done acting before.
Oh,
So our
gotcha.
friend Vinny was going to star in it, but he decided not to. I don't remember why he didn't do it. You know what? I think it was literally the reason that Vinny didn't do it was because of 9/11, because we were supposed to shoot this. We were originally supposed to start shooting this in October, like October 7th,
Oh,
2001. And my brother had a
Wow.
friend who was going
oh,
to lend us a light kit and a camera kit. and it was like a I can't remember what camera it was, but oh shit, what was that old? Oh, it was a Canon.
I
He
was
was
just
gonna
gonna
lend
say that.
he
I
was
had it in
gonna
my
lend
head.
us the Canon because it had that white part, and then
Canon XL,
it,
blah, 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 blah,
it
something.
was, yeah, it was a earlier, it was, we ended up using what, like a PD 150 or something, a Sony, and that was like the kind of equivalent. And then 9/11 happened, and that guy ended up like moving back home or something because there was no work in New York, so there was no camera, and it took us like a year to try to make the movie again. And then in the meantime, uh, I think that Vinny either didn't want to do it or we weren't really friends anymore or
Should have
something.
called me, Axel.
So yeah, that would have been awesome, dude. And
I would have
also,
young Solo in the Smokers. Oh,
originally Aaron was going to play Aaron.
A Dash Hustler.
Oh, you guys didn't know this? That's why he's
No.
named Aaron.
I figured.
Dude, Aaron, not only was he gonna play this guy, but he knew the lines. We were gonna shoot. And then he backed out of it too. And I
A
was like,
Huss could have been an
yeah,
award-winning actor, and
I was
he
gonna
he
blew
say
it.
would.
that
Yep.
just the few times I've talked to him via Zoom, I'm like, I could totally see him doing that.
Yeah.
It's for
Yeah.
sure.
That's why,
Well,
yeah, there's a lot of stuff in it that we kind of changed, and then Ryan did it his own way. But he wanted to act too. Ryan always wanted to act. I thought
Uh-huh.
he did pretty good. He was decent. But, Mike, really the two actors in the film were Mike and Ernie.
Hmm.
And I thought Mike did a great
oh,
job.
Mike did a very good job.
Willie
Yeah.
Sweets was kind of, that was a battle. Who is kind of the star of the movie in many ways and is in a lot of the most scenes. I wanted, I think at one point I wanted Vinny to play that part instead, but Mike really wanted to go with Willie Sweets. He was a fun guy to be around. He's a better stand-up comic, I think, maybe than an
Hmm.
actor.
Uh-huh.
He's a very good stand-up comic, and that's what he does now. But also, I don't know that we were doing it like haphazardly. If someone had a location, we went and tried to shoot it, and you know what I'm saying. Like, it
Well,
wasn't really haphazard. It was very planned out. I
that was one of the things
produced
I
a
was gonna
lot of
like.
it.
There's quite a few shots that are like in parks with like street vendors and all that stuff. You guys, did you just kind of do this all like, what do you
Guerrilla
call it?
style,
Yeah, like
guerrilla
not
Yeah.
filming.
you didn't do
Well, you know
permitting and all
what?
that stuff, did you? Or did
No,
people in the
no,
background shots know they were in the film?
no,
Okay, that's what
no,
I assumed,
no,
but okay.
no. We did, even though I shouldn't say we did it haphazardly. I kind of produced it. I got all the locations and chose all the locations, interior and exterior, and I locked them down. Like when we shot at New Blue, the bar where
Hmm.
Ryan and Mike hang out, all the different apartments we shot at. And it was very planned out. I mean, we shot the whole thing. Like I could go back and get my notes. I think it was like a month or something. We just shot the shit out of it. We say today we're going to shoot this today, and we did it. We finished it as we planned. So it was very planned out. But all that other stuff was just me because I'll just shoot anybody. I don't care. So I just started. There's a guy Pete who's in the movie. Really quickly, he was just some dude who was watching us one day.
Nice.
So I was like,
So
"Come be in the movie."
there was one other sequence I was going to ask you about because I rewatched it when I knew this was coming up. I'm like, I got to watch this again, so I would
Sure.
refresh myself. So, what's with the what was the like? Why did you guys do the? There's like a sequence in the apartment where it's like animated or rotoscoped a little bit or something. What is that?
Yeah.
How did that come about, or why? How did you do that, and what? Why did you put that in there?
Um, well, number one, Andy, we were really stoned.
I assume that was part of it.
Um,
I felt
well,
like I was stoned when I was watching that sequence. So,
Mike's friend Lonnie, who was
Lonnie Anderson.
Lonnie Quattlebaum,
Oh,
that's a
worked
great name.
who worked at I think a TV station in Kansas. He may still do that. The guy was really smart, very good with cameras and technology.
Uh-huh.
And at the time, we shot this movie in in late 2001, 2002. Oh no, it was, yeah, because we waited a year, 2000, so it was 2002. We shot into fall of 2002.
Wow.
So that is 23 years ago. If you can believe that. It didn't cut, we didn't finish editing it and get it like distributed or whatever until 2008. So it
Okay,
took
so
like
that
7
information on
years.
IMDb is correct then. The March 8th, 2008. That's what IMDb said for the
That's
release.
when it came out on
Okay, on
disc,
on DVD. Okay,
but we shot it in
yeah.
2002.
Okay.
Um, and what was really popular? Waking Life,
That's what I thought of when I saw it. I'm like, whoa,
rotoscoping.
yeah.
So I was into it. So I said, let's do it. And Mike's friend Lonnie had done this thing called Quaddle Vision, where he did his own rotoscoping. So
Uh-huh.
we shot a scene, we sent it to Lonnie. He
So it
did
was
his
Rotos,
thing.
just like the Linklater stuff then.
Yeah,
Okay,
and he sent it back to us and we put it in the movie. We thought it was fun.
that's cool. That is very
Because the
cool.
guys
That
were
was,
tripping out, you know? The
yeah.
movie's just about people smoking weed, walking
Oh,
around New York, you know?
it,
Like it's just a fun movie.
it also gave me vibes of Superbad because instead of out to score booze all night, they go out to score pot.
Yeah.
Same kind of vibe.
Yeah, it was fun.
I wanted to do the Smokers too, where I'm his brother and I come to revenge his death.
I think that would be awesome, dude. Who are you? Willie Sweets' brother?
Wait, I'm trying to think.
No,
Wait, does
Mike
Mikey Hug?
lives. Mike's the
Mikey
only
Hug?
person that
Oh,
lives.
he lived.
Maybe he
Yeah,
goes
he
missing and
shoots
you have to
Aida
find
at
him
the
solo.
end.
Or maybe
Yeah.
I was after him, an FBI guy after him. I
Oh,
forget why.
Yeah.
I forget what concept I had,
He
but
gets
let's
he gets
freaking do it.
away with everything at the end, Mikey
That's
Hull.
right. Maybe I come after Mikey Hull, not revenge. I'm after him. I don't know.
I also
I
noticed
just want
one
to
of the
be after
shots at
Mikey Hull. It's
one
Mike
of the shots at
Smokers
the
too.
beginning in the subway. You got a nice shot of a Shield poster, Vic Mackey in the Shield poster in the background. I was like,
Yeah,
yes.
that
Oh,
was all
I think
stolen too. That was me, the guy actually on the audio of that shot that's coming into the World Trade Center after 9/11.
wow.
Oh,
And that is
wow.
actually a temporary structure that doesn't exist anymore. That was before they opened
Oh, before
the
they redid
new,
it all.
yeah, before they redid it all.
Wow.
So on the actual audio, the guy who works for the MTA or the path or whatever is saying to me, "You can't have a camera on in here, man." And I said, "No, the camera's not on. It's not on. I'm just sitting. I'm just coming back from a shoot, man. I'm not shooting anything." And I'm literally talking to him as we're pulling in. And then I just pick up the camera and walk out. And
He doesn't
he
say,
never
"What's that
jumped.
red light on for?" or whatever.
No, because
It's
my
It was
camera
tape.
didn't have a red light on it. That's
okay.
amateur hour, Ando.
And
Okay,
that's VHS
Come on.
I've never
recorders.
done a lot of
No,
guerrilla
you can
filmmaking.
shut the red light off.
Yeah,
Any camera post like 97 or something has the ability to turn the red light off
oh, to turn it
in the
off. Okay,
settings. So I always turn the red light off or any type of,
yeah,
and
Do
then
you
you
turn it
limit the
off in the red
lens
light
movement.
district? Do you
No,
turn it
that's
off
where
in
I
the red
keep
light?
it on.
that's
Solo.
what
I
you
don't
keep
leave
it
it
on.
with
That's
you.
what it's for.
You
Attaboy.
have any more smokers? Come on, Solo. Do you have any more smokers questions? Got anything else you want me to talk about?
Yes, I
All right,
do.
go. Hit me, baby.
How was your casting process? Was it like,
Oh,
did you actually have auditions? I know you mentioned a Hus audition, so just maybe,
we did. We did.
how'd you do it?
Well, there was a local like art building in New York. What was it called? Was it called ABC No Rio or something? I don't know, some shit like that. It was like kind of like an old school that artists they let people put on shows or you could rent a room or something. And we put up some signs and we I don't think maybe we put something on like Craigslist or something. I mean, this was like
Oh,
2000 when we did
wow.
this, or
Yeah. Yeah.
or 2001, right? So, and then we had auditions, and and most of the parts passed. The main four people were cast through that one day. We were there for like 5 hours or
And
something, and we
just saw
had like
people.
100 something people or more come in and audition for the
Right.
movie. So a lot of the people in the movie were real actors. They weren't just people off the street.
Right.
Though there were some people that we just picked up off the street. And there were some comedians too, because both Ernie and Will, Willie Sweets, were
Really sweet.
stand-up comics.
Cool. What so throughout the process, there's got to be a story where it was just one of those days that seemed like nothing was going right and like you had to make some magic happen to get what you came to shoot. Do you have any of those days where you just were up against the wall and you had to try to figure out, okay, how are we going to fix this? How are we going to get this done?
Well, you know what, man? We were always having so much fun just running around shooting stuff. There was not a lot of pressure.
Right.
The only day was when we could have had an amazing scene that we had to cut, where we had a great actress and a great location, which was Aaron's mom's apartment in Midtown, right near the park.
Hmm.
And Willie Sweets just totally flaked on us because he was having sex with like some girl the day before, and she was like in Harlem, or I don't know. She was somewhere farther away and he didn't want to come down. And it was like,
Really
and
sweet.
it just fucked it, because that would have been great. That apartment was great. We were going to shoot outside in the park too, and we were going to do a whole kind of. I had more envisioned that Mike didn't even know about. That I wanted to have them walking through the park a little bit and have a little conversation, and we'll go up through the elevator and
Yeah,
do all
nice
this
production
shit.
value too, that, you know.
But yeah, we couldn't do it though. That was the most
Ah,
frustrating thing, honestly. And there was a
it
thing when
frustrates me
Ernie
23 years later, and I'm just hearing
when
about it.
Ernie was supposed to leave. He had to leave, and we had like still to shoot the final scene, and we had to do this whole rigmarole. Aaron, I've told this story before, where the guy who lived Aaron's landlord, who lived below him, left his daughter home the night we shot the. It was just a
Oh,
rehearsal,
that's
but we
right.
shot
That's
it
right.
for the final scene. He left his daughter home alone, even though I looked him in the eye and told him, "We are shooting a robbery.
Right,
It's going to be a little loud, and there's fake guns. Nothing's happening." Like, I wanted to make sure he didn't call the cops on us, right?
right.
Because we're screaming. So he decides to go out and leave his like 8 year old daughter home alone or some shit. And so he told us we couldn't shoot anymore. So I had to talk to him. And then this delayed Ernie's flight. So we had to pay for his flight. And
Mm.
that was those were the only two stressful things, but we worked it out. And it was actually kind of, we worked together. We had fun, and it was always Mike and I doing it. It was, we were making all the decisions together. And I don't know, look back on it, we just had fun doing it. It would be fun to make another smoker. We have a little bit more money, of course, and I couldn't carry
Yeah.
all the equipment around like I
You know,
did.
you get Brett to do that now.
Yeah.
Brett
Yeah.
will,
He's in good enough shape. He can handle it.
yeah,
We
He
could
runs
he can
get
run, he
marathons.
can
He
run
can,
30
we'll
miles
get
yeah.
Luke,
with a
Des,
tripod.
Quentin, and Lachlan to carry the
Yeah, get all
equipment
the
around.
kids.
Oh
They can
yeah,
do it.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But no, I could see it, Axel. Portland, Mikey Hull or whoever the character is.
Weed is legal now.
Weed's legal. He's up there. He maybe owns some
Yes,
dispensatories.
exactly. He owns a display, right? And
And
then
I come to get my revenge
someone comes
on
back from the past.
from the past. A brother of someone he killed.
You're Aida. You're
Aisha?
her or brother. No, Aida, who was the
Oh
star
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
the female star. You could be like her son or something like that, or her
Or
brother.
you've played a law enforcement officer. You could be the guy
Yeah,
investigating the murders.
yeah, that's true.
I
Years
could,
later.
or I could be a rogue agent that
Oh, I like
I'm
that.
out of my
Yes.
jurisdiction,
Rogue
but I
agent.
know,
Yes.
I
I'm doing
like a
this on my
rogue agent.
vacation.
Yeah,
Yes. I like that.
that'd be
That's way
good.
better,
That'd be
actually.
good.
All right, let's write. Let's
Got
do
it,
it.
baby.
We'll shoot it in Portland and
Um,
on Ando's farm
I'm just
in
trying to think,
Minnesota.
is there any other
Perfect.
smokers story? Oh, there is one other story, which is, if there's one thing I regret with smokers, I'll say this, is before we went with this distribution company, which I can't even, this guy who turned out Glenn's son, he turned out to be a nice guy, and he got the movie out there, and he had done some other stuff too. And it got on Amazon or a little bit, and you can still find the DVDs here and there. Um, but it was my idea, and even though in the end it was both Mike and I's idea not to go forward with it because we didn't know whether it was like our thing. But Troma offered to distribute the movie. Lloyd Kaufman from
Mm-hmm.
Troma saw the
Yeah.
movie and he liked it.
My
And
buddy, Joe Lynch, the director, he worked at Troma when he got
that's
out of
that's what I'm
college.
saying, Solo. That's why I regret it because I didn't realize at the time. Now, what he wanted to do is he wanted to do an intro with us, and like they wanted to kind of change some of the like the marketing or whatever, which we didn't care about, whatever the picture and all that, but they didn't want to change the movie at all. Actually, the guys who worked there loved it. They thought it was fun, like, and they said we wanted to try to get into like pop movies,
Hmm.
Right.
and this has a lot of weed in it. But then we were like, I don't know. It didn't, it was, and they were really young too. Like he was not there. We never met him.
Mhm.
And it just, we weren't sure whether they were really going to do it or anything. And then the other thing opportunity came along. But then thinking back, I was like, shit, if we had done that, who knows? We could have ended up, they could have been like, hey, do you want to direct this shitty horror movie for $200,000?
Yeah,
You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Like that would have been
exactly.
smarter for us to do that, which looking back,
Sliding
you know,
doors, man.
you never know. You never know. But
That
that
was
offer
that was
was
like me when
made.
we were doing Ocean 711. When we first started, we had people that were kind of like, "Hey, you should come with us and do it, blah blah blah," and we were just like, "No, we're gonna do it on our own." And unfortunately, we ran into the problems with Warner Brothers after. But had we, you know, maybe gone a certain path, maybe we would have, because we were in over our heads. Web series, we didn't know what was happening, and we're trying to like, where's people going online? It was very like we were a little before the time. It was
Yeah.
around. So, in retrospect, there's a lot of things you wish you'd done differently, but you
Yeah.
never know, and
Oh no, totally. And of course, but there's also tons of movies that they took and nothing happened to them. You know what
of
I'm
course. Oh
saying? So
yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't,
yeah.
and those people are not doing anything. But it could have been fun. I mean, but hey, look, all in all, we just wanted to kind of make a movie and have fun doing it and try to get better at it. We knew we weren't making something great because we had no money. We didn't have the equipment or anything. But we put a lot of time and energy into it and we had a lot of fun doing it.
Well done, Axel. It is a good movie. I'm glad I own it. I'm glad I know you. And I'm done. This is gonna be the last film list ever. I'm gonna end it here.
That's what I'm saying. Like, are we done? We finally did the smokers on film list. Like, are we done podcasting now?
Yeah, we're done. We're
Does this
done.
end it
That's a
We
all? Do
did
we have?
wrap.
Star City
Yeah.
Murders and we did
Are there any other
Smokers.
questions? This is like the last time we're ever going to get to talk about this
Okay,
movie,
yeah,
man.
Ando, come on, hit
I
our
know. Oh no,
guy.
we're gonna do. You know
Um,
what? I'll save it for when you guys come back and we do the commentary to smokers. Remember?
Ah,
oh, I like
that's
that.
what we gotta do. We're
That's the
gonna
look
do that's
forward
our
to.
next one.
That's when I'll bust out all the crazy stories
Ah, all
and
right.
how we did the nude stuff. And but that was like I was
Oh
So
really
yeah.
hey,
I
here's
needed
one.
to
Is
have
this
that.
true or false? The original title was Pot Parade.
No, is that on there?
I think it was on there's like a behind the scenes featurette and it's got you guys being interviewed. And I think one of you said that. I wrote it down in my notes, so I
Really?
must have seen
I
it
don't even
somewhere.
remember.
Maybe because the way the script worked was we sat
Pot
down
parade.
and we outlined the entire movie, right? Like
Yeah.
basically everything that happens. But we also said we're going to do like 10 pot scenes,
Hmm.
right? Like, oh, and then we were like, hey, let's have this guy come, a paranoid guy. Let's have some tripping guys. They all visit him, right? Because it
Yeah.
was going to be like a kind of
A pot
like,
parade.
well,
Yes.
just,
Well, I think
I don't know I don't know where Pot Parade came
well,
from.
because on the DVD,
That's
there's like at
interesting.
least the one I have, there's like it's like a 20-minute thing where it's you and Mike talking
Yeah,
and
yeah.
somebody's interviewing
Jason
you.
Bailey
Oh,
interviewed
okay.
us. Yeah, his friend
Yeah,
Jason interviewed us. And
he's
I
a
have some
journalist, isn't he?
stupid hat on because my hair was all fucked up and I was stoned when he arrived. And I was like, I don't know. And I was just like, all right, let's go. Let's shoot it.
Yeah.
I just grabbed some Mike had on his bed and I look like an idiot. But anyway, that thing should be. I tried. I think I might have taken that off YouTube, by the way. Um, but what was I gonna say?
Sorry.
Oh, then Mike. Then we outlined it. Then Mike went and wrote the script. He went off. I wrote. We each wrote a couple scenes to start the movie. And then we decided that his was better. We liked his better because mine was going in a different direction.
Mhm.
And I think he had definitely more of a handle on how to write a movie that cost no money because he had done it before.
Yeah.
And then we edited the script together and changed a lot of it to pare it down, right? Because his original script was like 140 pages or something. And then so we brought it down to like 85 or something like that, or
I was
80
gonna say it's like an hour
pages.
20 or something, isn't it? Somewhere in that
Yeah,
range.
it's
So
like an
usually, yeah,
hour.
it's usually a minute a page
Yeah.
as
So
a
we brought
standard.
that down to like, yeah, 80, 85 pages.
Yeah, that's what I was
And
thinking.
but yeah, it was fun. But a lot of all of it, like the good dialogue is Mike. He's really good at the dialogue. I was the one who came up with how to edit it, the split screens, the transitions, the tone, the music. That's my friend Beerble's cousin. They're still a great band too, Dialect. Um, oh no, well, is that band around anymore, or is he a different band now? I don't know. Dalek, uh, I guess is how you pronounce like the Doctor Who thing.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Daleks. Yep.
yeah, Dalek. That's how you pronounce it. And even though Beerble's cousin Alop left the band, the other guy, Will, still does it. I still follow him on the old Facebook. He actually scored Mike's movie on HBO,
Oh, that
Oh,
doc,
did he?
the documentary. Yeah,
the
Attica?
prison thing.
the
Yeah.
Attica one. He
Prison
scored
thing.
that.
Attica. The
Um,
prison
I
thing.
couldn't
and
remember
we
the name.
finished the
Hey, the
movie.
prison thing?
We just finished the movie and gave them the movie. So it was done. We locked picture. We said we're done. Then we sent them the movie. Then he did the score and sent it back. And we just basically synced it underneath the entire movie. So it was like he just went and did the whole thing. So that was amazing. I mean, that's like one of the best parts of the movie. His score is great.
That's really good.
And that's all I got. The rest you'll hear on
Commentary in
the commentary in
this fall.
2025, coming this fall to Portland.
And
I'm
Thanks for
looking
YouTube
having
forward
me
to it.
probably.
on, guys. Yeah.
I
All
hope hopefully Brett will talk more on this commentary than he did the Star City Murders commentary.
right. Brett doesn't need to talk. His presence is felt.
I know,
Yeah.
but I just want more Brett
I know. I know. We all want
whispering
more
in my
Brett.
ear. I like the way it feels, the quality of the
When Brett
breath.
whispers in my ear, tells me all the things.
Well, it's true what I like about
About
Brett.
Brett. Yeah. Wow. What I like about Brett. He's on
He
around the couch. The Atlanta Falcons. Oh, wait, I could have kept going.
drinking
I better
Ellen
text Brett and
Reese
make sure he watches this when he gets done with work here.
Oh,
cheers me with his
yeah.
Mr. Pibb. So,
When he's running in a marathon mile.
all right, just to recap today's film list. Number 850 was The Substance. 849, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. 848, Doctor Strangelove. 847, The Killing. And 846, the Mikey Hull Axel Foley film Smokers. Almost said The Smokers.
Yeah,
Smokers.
The Smokers. And by the way, all three of these films at the end are about 90 minutes long. And that's where my 90-minute thing. See, Stanley Kubrick. The Killing really is the number one influence on Smokers, without a doubt. That is what I was trying to do.
We can't make this shit up, Ando. Maybe for this pod.
No, that's nice.
And that was
Perfect.
by accident too. Solo was like, "Hey, there's another Stanley Kubrick. Want to talk about The Killing?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, it's why I made Smokers, because I
I did not
love The
know
Killing."
that. So we
You should have
replaced
led
the
with that when
menu.
we did the
Yeah.
transition, Axel. That would have.
See, you
I thought he
always
was
do.
going
It's
to.
all
Ando.
great directors. Their first movie is a heist movie. Tarantino, Kubrick. This is the way we do it, people. Is David Fincher's first movie a heist movie? Maybe not.
What's his first one? Is not Alien 3 is not his first.
Yeah.
PTA
Alien
heist
3.
movie.
Is his first. That's a heist movie?
Kind of.
No.
The aliens
Yeah.
heist the people. They get inside them and take them over and
Open the
hop
church
out
and
of it.
here's the steeple.
All
Yeah,
right, so we're
something like
losing
that.
it right now. Somebody took
Yeah.
too many gummies.
I think he already lost it.
No, I don't take gummies.
This is a great wait. How long have we been going for? An hour
3 hours?
34, fellas. It's only
90
2:30.
minutes.
Yep.
90 minutes. Normally we do 10 films in 90 minutes.
Yep.
This is the reason why we do 5, so we can get more out of Axel.
Mm-hmm. This was perfect. This was a good one.
This was
fun.
an Axel
fellas.
film list. So
Mhm.
yeah, remember, go to dvrpodcast.com for all our back catalog and listening to some new stuff. We'll be covering White Lotus finale next week. That should be fun. We got Gina's on a break, but in Europe, but we got Axel, Jenny, and do you have any special guests coming on?
Well,
White
if you want to
Lotus?
come on, you can come on for the finale of White Lotus next Wednesday at about 2 p.m. Pacific, 1:30.
Very, very possible.
All right, well, you're invited.
Thank you. Oh my God, I'm invited to the White Lotus again.
Yeah, come on in. I'll
One
give you a
night
nice
only,
massage.
Be careful. Not everyone checks out once they check in.
That's true.
And if you want, become a patron. Go to patreon.com/DVR. And for a couple bucks a month, you become a patron. You get exclusive pods early and often, ad-free and ando-free. No, just kidding. It just sounded nice to.
I'm always free.
Yeah, yeah, very free. But no, seriously, guys, thank you for doing it. We've been trying to get this done. And I'm glad we did it because you can't do a podcast talk about smokers without the smoker himself.
Yes.
Right, Ando?
The creator. We needed the creator here.
Well, this was fun, guys. This was fun to do, kind of a little bit of thinking back. We had a great time making that movie. Mike's making a new movie now, I bet. I don't know, out there somewhere doing his thing. It was a good time. Maybe one day we'll do it again. Smokers to Portland Boogaloo.
I'm in. Signed, sealed, delivered.
Awesome. Oh, I have to end the podcast. I forgot. Sorry.
All right. So thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time on the film list.